for Monday, February 8th, Human Services Committee to order. We only have two agenda items today that we'll be reviewing, and I'm going to go right in order. We'll go with the first one, which is 14-2-21. Health Director requests a discussion of salary and benefits for the incoming Environmental Health Director. Can everyone hear me fine?
Yes.
You sound great, Eric.
Okie dokie. Fred, I've got your letter. Hopefully everyone else has read it as well. You've got a candidate that we've advertised the position. Had over a couple dozen candidates, but you've got one that clearly stands out. And we wish to bring him in at a step 5, grade 13. What is that dollars and cents wise? What is that starting set? What is that salary for at that position? Do we know?
I can get you an exact number, but it is roughly 84,000 would be the salary, and that would be the equivalent to what the candidate is currently making. If I may, I feel very fortunate to get a candidate of this caliber. It's a very difficult time in public health, and there is not a lot of job movement, and certainly the premium position that I was willing to hold out for the right candidate, and feel very fortunate to finally get this particular person. We've got over 2 decades in experience in local public health, specifically in environmental health. The last 10 or so in management, including a stint as acting health officer. And, I think with a person of this experience level, we can really hit the ground running. And it's such a crisis time in public health. I feel, again, very, very fortunate to get someone with this work experience and educational background.
The starting salary is $33.68 an hour at the 13th step. Is that what you wanted to know, Eric?
That's the beginning.
That's the beginning, right? It's the first step. Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, but he asked how much the cost was to bring this guy in at step 5.
Oh, is that? I couldn't hear him at first, so I can tell you.
It's 84,000.
And Bridget, how much is that over what we were thinking, that the range that we were looking?
I think we budgeted at the middle of the salary scale, and we don't need to do a budget adjustment. Either of the items on your agenda today do not need budget adjustments.
Okay.
That's very relevant to know. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Steve?
Yeah, Eric, if I may. So we keep having this discussion about bringing folks in, at higher. We're perturbing the pay grades. So, and I understand all of that, but then long term for future steps. So what growth potential does he have on the ladder as it exists today for that position?
He has 2 steps.
And that normally would cover 3 years, 5 years.
Right. So he's coming in at step 5, and there's 7 steps. So the first year he'd be at step 5, the next year step 6, the next year step 7. So 3 years.
Oh, so every year there's a built-in step as
Right.
opposed to some change in job status or
Right.
whatever to trigger that.
Mhm. Every
All right,
year
so-
and annually they get an evaluation. And then after the evaluation, if they get a satisfactory evaluation, they move to the next step. in the process.
Okay. So he or she will be bumping the ceiling here then in 2 years.
3,
Uh,
because the first
3.
year will be at 5, and then it'll be
Oh, okay.
at 7.
All right.
And it
All right.
sounds like this gentleman is well aware of that, and he desires this position. He wants to move on. And am I reading that right, Fred?
Correct.
That
Yeah.
he knows he's going to
Absolutely.
max out in a couple, 3 years, correct, Fred?
Yes, absolutely.
I
Okay.
did not see that anywhere in the letter nor in the conversation. So you're reading the tea leaves somewhere there, Gay. Better than
Well,
I.
no, I'm asking, it's an assumption that I'm clarifying with,
Okay.
so that it's very, very important, but your questions are very good, Steve.
That is correct, Gay.
Well, I don't have any issues with this whatsoever. And the board as a whole, however, I'm just
I
letting you
support
know.
this. I support this, Eric, and I would make a motion if we're not
I'll
ready
try
yet.
my best to have them understand that we need to proceed at this level. No,
Eric,
Motion's
Eric,
been made.
your,
Do I hear support?
Eric, you're cutting in and out.
Yeah.
I gotta run the show.
Yeah, I know it, totally.
I don't know what to tell you, guys.
Yeah,
So let's get
I
this-
would make a motion to support this.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any more discussion?
One more question to Fred. So, when this, for next Tuesday, be sure to have all of those points shared with, we'll provide time for you to share all of this with the rest of the board. Because they will have
Absolutely.
questions.
Okay,
That's all I have to
absolutely.
say.
Okay, thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Thank you, Fred. Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Thank you for answering my pesky constituent.
That's
It's
okay.
been the same person the whole time, so
Okay.
appreciate it.
We will see you in the morning. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you. All right, agenda item number 2 is 16-2-21 ITGIS Director requested discussion of salary and benefits for the incoming senior IT engineer. And Chris, I have your letter explaining your request. And this was you're requesting to come in at grade 11, step 4. Where is that dollar and cents wise?
It's 65,124.
Thank you, Bridget.
Mhm.
And again, then where is that in the overall ladder spectrum?
Halfway through.
Halfway.
Step
Okay.
4. So, there's 7 steps. So
All right.
first year will be a 4, then a 5, then a 6, then a 7.
Okay.
Chris, could you tell us a
Chris,
little bit about
yeah.
this candidate? Like how long he's been in the business? Does he have any history of working with county government? And so brag him up. Tell us about him.
Well, first thing, it's a she. So,
Oh, ouch.
she's highly qualified. And it's a very competitive market right now for IT. So, especially with the pandemic. And I know we're going up against some bigger employers in the region right now. I saw some job postings from other employers. So, got about 12 candidates. We interviewed what we felt were the top 4 candidates from the pool that we got. And like I said, she came in highly qualified. She's got multiple years experience with servers and the environment equipment that we use here. She's also bringing in an added bonus with her security, IT security background with working for the bank. So that really was a plus that we felt an extra feather in her cap for looking at her for the position. So
Chris, whose position is she filling? Was there anybody in this role before?
this was the role that Nate had, yes. And he
Nate?
right before Christmas.
Okay,
And just like
okay,
Bridget mentioned, we won't need a budget adjustment because we'd be bringing her in. Ironically, her current salary matches what the step 4 is, which was exactly where Nate would have been this year. So truly, we're actually having a net savings because we didn't have any salary payments for the last 2 months out of that one position. So we're just filling it and moving on. And I think she'll be able to step in and really keep us charging forward with what we're doing with IT. So.
okay. Anything, Steve? Gay?
No, Mr. Chairman, I would move that we would approve this agenda item.
I would support that.
Motion made and supported. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, the same. Motion carries. Alrighty.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. Any other business today?
Eric, I just
Suzanne,
want
yeah, go ahead.
I just want to thank Suzanne
Bridget.
for sitting on those interviews with Chris and his team for the IT person. It's always nice to have an outside perspective.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else? No? Entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn has been made
And second,
and seconded.